I know it's not nearly as sexy. People always ask me what the best RV to buy is and which one I should recommend and what manufacturer is the best, and I can't answer that question to anybody. But the best advice I can give anybody, the most important thing to do before you ever buy any RV ultimately is have the roof inspected. I don't care what it is, you need to inspect the roof. And any seller that won't let you get the roof inspected is probably pretty suspect, and you might want to move on to a different RV. Well, welcome back to the shop, guys. And if there's one thing you've ever learned from this channel is that I really highly recommend roof inspections on your RV anytime you're using it. I know I generally say at least once a year, but I think I want to tell everybody, because I am an RV owner at this point, you should probably check your roof when you put it into storage or you're done using it, and then check it when you're bringing it out of storage, because you never know what can happen in between those two options. You never know if you're driving back from where you were using it at a campground or on the road, you might have hit something like a tree branch, and you wouldn't know unless you got on the roof and had it inspected when you put it into storage. And the entire time you might have a hole in your roof while it's in storage, and if you don't have covered storage, you could be getting some serious damage to your RV. But on the same note, you might have it in storage, even if it's covered storage like this, and a sewer vent or a roof vent could break off in the wind and you wouldn't even know it, you know? And on these membrane roofs, I've even seen some animals like birds pecking holes on these roofs. And that's why it's very important to do an inspection, because really any amount of water in an RV starting at the roof has almost destroyed the RV. Now, of course, I'm talking about putting it in and out of storage. If you are living in your RV full time, I would still at least recommend once a month to get on the roof, check it for any damage, but also you should be washing your RV roofs periodically, and that's a good time to inspect them. Soap and water is all I'm ever really going to recommend on any RV roof. Well, I know it's very easy for me to say because I'm still able to climb on these roofs. I would argue it's still probably money well spent if you just have a technician get on the roof real fast and do a quick inspection for you. Or, of course, you could always invest in a drone and just do a quick visual inspection with a drone. But today I'm just going to take the work truck out for a quick little road trip to do an inspection on an RV for a client. I'm really hoping that I don't find anything. But I do want to stress how important it is to do a roof inspection on an RV. And I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys that it doesn't take an awful lot of time to do a quick visual inspection. And I know it's not always the funnest thing to watch or do, but it should not take more than about 10 minutes to do a quick visual inspection on an RV roof. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick road trip just down the street from the shop. All right, so we have a 2017 Coachmen Pursuit, Class A gas motorhome. And I did look at this one about 2 years ago, and I think it has a TPO, a membrane roof on it. In fact, I'm pretty sure it does because it's painted up front here and not in the back here, and you can't do that on a rubber membrane because a TPO roof is plastic and you can paint the plastic but not rubber. Of course, like always, I like to climb the ladder to make sure the ladder's not loose, especially where it goes into the roof right there. And we'll do a quick once over to look for any obvious damage here, which I'm not seeing, but this is definitely a TPO roof. It has like a stucco texture to it, and this does have a Dicor lap sealant on the back here. I would say they probably used non-sag right there, where this is sagging, but I don't see any signs of damage to that. The membrane looks really good. I'll walk on it. Don't look too bad. A little loose right there, but nothing to worry about. Now on these membrane roofs, it's really common for the radiuses to get torn, so we want to make sure that they didn't hit a branch or get torn. Does look like maybe a little bit of a gap right there. Probably just time for that non-sagging Dicor to be put on the top of the edge again. We'll go ahead and just lean up against the AC, make sure it's not loose. It's not loose. Come over to this side. I'm going to look the radius this side too. Not seeing anything wrong. We got a bedroom slide with a Schwintek mechanism. Look on top of the roof here. Nothing bad. This fabric's in good shape. Take a look at the skylight. It is yellow now, so it could be cleaned. You can put a UV protector on it to give a little bit of vitality back to it. But you can clean this off with a little bit of mineral spirits. I'm not seeing any cracks on the flange or the sealant. It looks pretty good. Come up here, we got a refrigerator vent. It's not falling apart. It's not a hole. Looks like at one point the radius did get torn. So somebody put a patch on there. That looks pretty good. It's a pretty decent patch. Oh yeah, dented right there. So it's not an uncommon thing. Right here, this is the deck. It's got a wood decking to it. And then just like travel trailers, they have a metal aluminum bent radius. And that's where it got dented right there. So it's always important to check. This fabric does not look bad. The fabric is not loose, or the awning hardware doesn't seem loose. Now this one has a slim rack slide on this one, so Schwintek on the back and a slim rack on the front. Very similar slides. Take a look over here. Not seeing anything to be concerned about. Seals look like they're in good shape. And of course, while we're up here, it's a good chance to actually look down the sidewall to see if you can see any obvious delamination or bubbling in the sidewall. That's a good viewpoint. Go ahead here. Sewer vent looks good. Somebody's been touching that up. I'm not seeing an issue with that. That's not loose. So you can see they did paint right here. The paint is peeling out a little bit. Looks like maybe you can see some scrapes, but nothing that damaged, probably just some branches. Besides, it's always important to inspect a roof because you never know how many branches you might have hit when you were driving. Looks like the awning fabric stitching is about ready to go. So I could probably have them be aware that the awning fabric is a little bit older. But surprisingly, 2017 was 7 years ago already. Now this vent over here has the bolt down version, which I'm not a big fan of. It's the cheapest version. I would prefer a vent cover that you can remove pretty easily, like this front one here. This has got 4 pins on it. We can pull out, and now we can go ahead and inspect a lot easier. It's important to be able to see the flange, make sure that it's not cracked, which is a pretty common problem to have on these vents, or fantastic vents. Couldn't be easier to put that vent back on again. That's why it's nice to do. Nobody's going to bring tools up with them to take that vent cover off. It makes this very easy to inspect and clean, where those are very difficult to inspect and clean. Spending just a little bit more money will really pay off in the long run. All right, we'll come up to the front AC. It's really nice. This shorter Class A motorhome has 2 ACs on it. Definitely need that here in the desert. Now again, remember, as we're walking, we are trying to walk everywhere we can to find any soft spots in the roof, and I'm not feeling any. So we're also checking with our feet as we're walking. TV antenna, nothing looks bad there. Another patch job has been done here. Looks like they did a pretty good job. And that sealant doesn't look too bad. Peering over the side, I'm not seeing anything damaged there. It does feel like maybe the factory didn't get the adhesion completely great on the membrane. It's not quite as sticky as it should be. But there's nothing to be done about that, and I don't see any real damage from it. Normally, if these are ballooning or billowing driving down the road, especially on a TPO, it'll be stretched out. I don't know if you can see a little bit of a crease right there. It'd be a great big huge U or V if that was a problem on a TPO, because TPOs, they don't stretch and return like a rubber roof will. They will stretch and stay stretched. Okay. Now, I think I remember last time telling him about the hole in the side of his slide out room right there. So I'll make a note of that to remind him again. And basically, I think the only thing I'm going to tell him that he needs so far is just maybe to touch up the gutter seal on top. Give a quick little look at the clearance lights here. Not seeing anything wrong there. Looks really good. Even this paint's in good condition, so they can paint them without having paint peeling after a year. if they choose to. I will just do my favorite thing of stepping lightly on the molding here. We're going to see if it's loose. If it is loose, those screw heads will pop up out of the sealant, and that'll be a good indicator that this whole molding right up there is loose. We don't want that on the membrane roof because the membrane will direct water right into the front cap. Well, we have a very healthy report to give the owner of this 2017 Coachman Pursuit. Besides a little bit of touch up on the gutter molding, this roof's in wonderful condition. No matter what you might think about mechanics or technicians, I for one would rather just do an inspection, not do any repairs. So I'm really glad I don't have to do any repairs on the roof here. Give them a very happy report on the condition of their RV, and they can go out and enjoy it even further. But again, very important to check your RV roofs. You never know what's going to happen in the in-between times before you use them and store them. And while all too often we might see more luxurious RVs on this channel, whether it's a towable, a diesel, a Class A gas unit, get on the roofs, have the roofs inspected. It'll save you so much time and money in the long run and increase the enjoyment of your RV. Now, I hope everybody understands that just doing the inspection is just the first step. If you do find anything wrong, it's important to address those problems as soon as possible. In the desert here, we don't get a lot of rain, but even here, it does not take long for a little bit of rain to cause an awful lot of problems. And just the tiniest little bit of preventive maintenance can solve a lot of problems and heartache down the road. Because remember, no matter the RV that you currently have, if the roof is rotten or leaking, it's pretty much worthless. And I don't think I can overstress the importance of, before you buy an RV, the first thing you should do is get on the roof and inspect the roof for any damage on it and its condition. Do not rely on the sellers to tell you that the roof was just replaced, the roof was just repaired, there's nothing wrong, because all too often a new roof just means they painted it, or they put some Eternabond tape on it, or touched up the sealant, or didn't do anything and just told you that. So always get on a roof before you buy any RV. I hope that's what everybody takes away from this channel more than anything. Thanks a lot, guys, and good luck out there. I'm just now remembering that I did point out the little bit of damage that was on the radiuses, and the previous owner went ahead and did all those repairs, and they look like good repairs. I know that I'm not a huge fan of roof repair tape, but this is the application where it should be used. That's what it's there for. I just don't like it when it's being used as lap sealant. But as roof repair, as tears and membranes, that's 100% what I would use it for and how I would do it. There's no reason to replace an entire roof because of a little damage on the radius. So very good job, and I'm really pleased with the way he did it. Really, when it comes down to it, we just want to kind of address the hole right there in the slide out.